Alright, good morning guys. It is day 3 of Rocky Mountain Race Week and see hotel parking lot. We got Greg down there and then James. We rolled into them last night, but we're talking with the guys from Motion Raceworks and they actually told us that we need to go to Casey's and get some breakfast pizza. So that's what we're gonna go do. Kind of jealous because during Drift Week I felt I was one of the few with a trailer. Now I'm one of the few without a trailer is what I feel like. So James bought this trailer like 2 days before we left. His dad has this trailer over here and all this stuff. Look at that, I need that trailer actually. That one looks pretty sick. What's up guys, good morning. We made it to Kearney, Nebraska last night. I think it was about 11:30 when we actually rolled into town. This was about a 13-hour drive through the night. Well, there's only a couple hours during the night, but went and had dinner when we got here. And yeah, so yesterday morning we actually had a issue with the fuel pump, and I just figured it out right now. But before we get into that, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody who helped me with this build, helped sponsor some stuff, and kind of help make this whole Supra thing happen. Koenig Wheels, obviously super sick wheels, helped me out with the wheels and getting to SEMA. Garrett for this freaking amazing GTX 3584 RS Turbo, BC Racing for the coilovers, Deechworks for the whole fuel system. Like I said, we had an issue with the fuel pump in the morning, and I'll show you guys that in just 1 second. But ECU Master, ECU in this thing's been freaking amazing, and coil radiator's been keeping us pretty cool this whole trip. Why we've been ripping this AC. But today's video is actually sponsored by Manscaped, so I'll tell you about this issue right after that ad.
Alright guys, so as you guys saw, today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. You guys have probably seen we've been doing a lot of hygiene stuff lately. I'm a big fan of my personal hygiene. You know, I'm not in the shop getting all dirty and grungy. So Manscaped went ahead, they reached out to us, and they did send Trevor and I their new Rmrw 3.0. We're actually one of the first to get it. Has the new skin guard safe technology so you don't nick your stuff. Not only did that, it comes with like a charging dock and everything, but they sent us this whole like kit. Comes with this deodorant and this toner. And I will say guys, being on Rocky Mountain Race Week, being out in the sun all day, this deodorant has come in handy. I highly recommend it. Comes in a nice little gift bag and everything, but I've used it. It's been working great. Keeps you cool, keeps your boys all together and everything, and it's overall just a great package. So go ahead and use that code MotionAuto in the description. Put that on the screen right now, and that's gonna save you 20% off this package here. So not only are you gonna get the Rmrw 3.0, but you're gonna get the deodorant, you're gonna get the toner, and they're gonna send you a bag and even some like the high performance boxers and stuff like that. So I've tried it all out, it's good stuff. Go ahead and use it. Without these sponsors, the guys that support us allow us to do these, these trips, Rocky Mountain Race Week and everything. So guys, go ahead, please support them. Try it out. If you've probably seen some of their ads, if you've been thinking about it, now's the time. Use that code, get 20% off, and support them for supporting us. So let's just go check on the Supra, see how Trevor's doing.
All right, so I was a little bit confused yesterday in the morning. Basically, we just fired up the Supra, and 45 seconds later, it just died. Just like dunk, didn't drop fuel pressure, didn't do anything. It just like went from like 40 to just 0, and that was it. So the fuel cap and the fuel vent system on this tank, basically I have a little Y, and then this kind of goes up to the top of the filler neck. But the cap that I have is actually a pressure, so it holds pressure. It doesn't like let vapor or anything go in and out of the tank. And so talked to Deechworks yesterday, basically like 5 minutes after we figured out the thing. We swapped the fuel pump wire to the secondary pump, and basically made the whole journey on one fuel pump, which is a secondary pump. I just swapped the wire real quick. So anyhow, when I popped this little tank off today, started looking at it, and literally this thing was sucked closed, like sucked down, because this is a plastic fuel tank. So this was like at like a 30-degree angle right here. And I opened the fuel cap, and it was just like an airbag on a freaking truck. So got to this right here. Look at this. So this is the fuel hanger, and look at that. It bent this whole rod, all this stuff, and look at that right there, unplugged. So that thing came unplugged. This whole system is freaking just kind of goobered up right now. So yeah, definitely need to get that fixed. Basically just try to figure out how we're gonna get this thing to work again. This has this whole little fuel return system, and the fuel level gauge didn't work, and I'm kind of assuming that's why now, because I think it worked for a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah, it worked for a little bit. I told you to get a pressure relief cap or drill a hole in it.
I know, but I think that's what we got to find a drill now and drill a hole in it today.
Or just go to parts store and get a pressure relief.
Pressure relief?
Like a purge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I thought that's kind of what that one is, but that one just pretty much holds pressure. So anyhow, I'm kind of scared about actually taking this thing apart right now and getting that. But like I said, I talked to Ditchworks yesterday, literally 5 minutes after this happened, and messaged them, and they're like, all right, well, overnight you use some pumps, we'll give you an extra pump, you know, just in case anything is wrong. And bam. So they ship these things to the hotel, literally overnight parts from Oklahoma. So again, huge shout out to Ditchworks. Their pumps have been awesome. You know, the whole fuel system in the Supra has been awesome, and I was really just confused at what happened with it, and I almost assumed that, you know, it had to have been wiring or something come unplugged, but before we even diagnosed it or anything, they already had some pumps on the way. So again, huge shout out to Ditchworks. They've been a huge supporter and sponsor of me and my builds and stuff. So if you guys are looking for a fuel system or anything like that, be sure to check them out because they make a ton of awesome products. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to bend this back without actually breaking that, and then I guess we gotta drill a hole. You gotta drill?
No, probably have to pull all the stuff off so we can bend it back. And that looks like a threaded rod, so we might be able to just go to Fastenal.
Go get like some all thread or something?
Away.
Yeah.
Because everything here is like an hour away.
The bottom of this this pump, look, it looks like gummed up right there too.
It looks like there's metal and stuff in it. There's brass.
No, that looks like grass.
Brass.
It just looks like boogers almost. I mean, I guess that's what you get with E85.
Well, that might
boogery
be
stuff.
That could just be stuff that was in the tank. Remember, it was open forever.
No, this was the tank out of the wrecked Supra.
It came from a grassy place.
It did come out of a grassy place. Well, we need to find some little Allens because I don't know if I brought any little Allens. So we got to try to get this thing back working again. We'll let you guys know. Ty, you were right yesterday.
They don't fail.
Ditchworks pumps
Don't fail.
don't fail. So
Never say never, but they're
yeah. So we went ahead and bent some stuff back. I didn't want to bend everything back like too far to get it perfect, just because I feel like we're at that zone to where you almost, like, if you bend it back exactly where it was, then it gets really weak and it would have probably broke. There's like this little aluminum bracket here. Here's the little fuel tank like sending unit holder thing. So maybe my fuel gauge will work, because I'm pretty sure the fuel gauge worked for a little bit.
Did.
And then I drove it around, and then it stopped working. So maybe that's what it was. I think the other thing too is we need to, I forget how the wiring, because we changed the wiring back and forth on the fuel, because after this happened, I think. So we might have to swap the fuel gauge wiring back to whatever it was. It's so sick to just hear all like the turbo cars.
Turbo V8s.
Like turbo V8s, like towing trailers and stuff.
Like turbo, big turbo.
Like big block turbo V8s with giant freaking turbos and stuff. Like all these hotels around here, just everybody's in the parking lots just like working on their cars and doing random stuff, but it's just cool to hear like people just ripping by. So I'm gonna stuff this thing back in and see if we can get the fuel gauge to work, because that would actually be really nice.
That'd be not too bad.
Our boys got everything all hooked back up, and we're gonna hop in here. We're gonna see if we got fuel pressure. Let's see. PTI gauge. So fuel pressure is right up there in the top corner. Oh, we're back. We are back. And freaking ready to go. No fuel level.
Dun dun dun. Are you sure you have the wires hooked up right?
We might need to swap them back. Alright guys, so fuel gauge seems to be working. I don't know, like, it doesn't have a 100% full tank of fuel, but it's probably about 3/4, maybe somewhere in there, and maybe the fuel level thing got bent a little bit, which it probably got bent a little bit. But hopefully the fuel gauge actually kind of works, because it hasn't done this in a long freaking time. You get a bug?
Bug just got me.
Dave's dead bug? But yeah, she's ripping, she sounds smooth. She's excited to have a primary fuel pump again, and I'm gonna be excited to have a secondary fuel pump. So that means we can do some rips now, because yesterday I wasn't able to do some full freaking rips because, you know, secondary fuel pump and all that other type of stuff. But yeah, I guess we're gonna throw everything back in here. And what do we do now? Hang out?
Well, we gotta go.
No, it's almost 1 now.
Gotta get a video.
It's almost 1.
We'll get the video up, then we'll just head to the track here in like an hour and a half.
I don't know if we can go to the track yet.
Yeah, that's a little early.
It starts at 4. We can go till 10.
I can go take a nap for all I care.
I mean, we
watch
could go nap.
Watch
So,
TV, hang out.
freaking Tecton Tools, the code is actually still live for our affiliate link. So if you use the code
MATV10
you'll save 10% off. I think till
Free
the end,
shipping.
and free shipping
through June.
till the end of the month.
Yeah.
So basically, the end of the month, you got
Yeah,
like
we get
5 or 6 days, and your boys get a little percentage too. So if you guys want to, support your boys, get yourself this whole kit right here is like $150. Like literally.
125, I think.
Well, and then you use the code.
Yeah, 20%. It's like $100
Woo!
for this kit.
Look at that, 6 to 24 deeps, shallows, metric or standard. Well, no, the 10's over there, and it comes with this thing.
Kit comes with a missing 10
I was using
to
this as a
lose
hammer a little bit. Look at that breaker bar and a U joint. The U joints don't like impacts though, so just letting you know
Or
that.
your knuckles.
Ooh.
So I think the Motion guys potentially got their nitrous kit. He's gonna go over there and look. How'd this thing do yesterday?
866, 167, something like that. So close, not quite an 850, but leave that.
Well,
same
I know
tune-up
why.
in it.
It's the guy who's tuning it.
I know.
It's probably the guy who tuned it. It's
know.
all fault.
He's
Yeah,
gonna,
it
he's
went
gonna
like
add some in there, though.
9 something, and 890, and then 860, and if we got one more, we probably would have been a little closer. But
Yeah.
what do you do?
You're gonna go like.
I mean, what do you? Well, you got to make sure you can drive it to the next track and do all that stuff. But this thing's freaking gnarly. It just looks so cool cruising down the road.
Rolling down the road, just
It's
slam.
gotta be comfy. Those seats comfy.
It's not bad, yeah. Yeah, it's not bad at all. And then even though it's got the cage, the seats are full seats, so you can climb in it a little easier. So
Oh, look at this rig over here. This thing is a freaking setup. Air compressor. Everything all set up. He took the roof off of it so that you could actually like stand up and load it like all the way to the top. Got the toolbox hanging on this side over here, generator, all that type of stuff. This thing's got some freaking crazy turbos up underneath the hood. You can almost tell how serious it is by how big them tires are. There's some really big joints. Crazy. I need this trailer right there though. That's what I need. Oh look, these guys. You getting the thumbnail?
For sure.
Is that it?
Locking it in.
There it is. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how freaking clean this Supra is? Oh man, so pretty, so beautiful. First time it's actually been really clean this whole trip. So we just spent a little bit of time here in the shade, some waterless wash, some show shine, freaking in this guy right here. So we are actually gonna head over to the track real quick to see if we could get a good spot after we grab some stuff at the gas station. But man, she looks freaking good. Let's get her going, Ty.
One. 12.9 at 129, I think. guys, that board's hard to read. So it was like Amelia was maybe at 12.4. It's 129 mile an hour. Trevor's getting the slip right now. So it's slower ET, faster mile an hour. It sounded like he's spun a lot coming out. Well, let's check. Let's check and see what he said. Is it 12.4? Well, I couldn't see the ET.
12.1 at 129.
12.1. I saw 129. What's the 60? Like you're spinning way out. 2.1.
2.1. So that's a little bit better.
It sounded like he was spinning hard or something coming out. First run though, solid.
Fast, not as fast, but it's basically hitting the limiter. But I think I've seen my favorite,
Faster than everybody in the comments.
my favorite paint color out here. You see it?
Right now?
Yeah, do you see it? Freaking primer, bud.
Hey, it's not just Rmrw gray.
It's blocked too. So it looks like they did the high build, like the guide coat on it, and then they blocked all the panels. So that's like my favorite stage right there. Alright guys, so this is the Rowdy Radial class out here, and yeah, this is all the cars. Basically, it's an 850 index. So if I would have brought the Civic, it would have had to have been in like an unlimited class or something like that, and I would have basically been in an 850 class. So that's probably a good thing because that thing's not that fast yet. One of the few imports out here. It seems like everybody's slipping.
I tell you what, that car to go 850, 20, 50, 160.
Blew them off. Think you heard it?
Maybe. He's the fastest. That maybe.
Maybe so far.
Like so far, he's at the fastest.
So that
CT.
one ran what?
795.
I think Kansas is lower, right?
Yeah, I think.
So they'll be faster runs.
Oh yeah.
It's ran an 11.0 or 11.1 before.
Oh, shit.
That 135. So, but that was down.
Perfect class for you then.
Yeah, it was down. That was down in Florida though. But,
Oh yeah, big difference.
yeah. So.
All right,
All right, man.
do another.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that was my second pass of the day. It ran at 11.4 at 119. We had a peak boost of 31.5 pounds. Basically spun kind of hard. I was slipping the clutch, I think kind of how I should have, and then maybe let out of it. I didn't slip it enough to kind of let it roll out, and it spun the tires pretty hard and then bogged going into second. But the actual transmission, so the clutch thing, if I get the clutch hot, it welds a booger on there, and we've been talking about that this whole trip, of having that issue or being scared of that issue because it's happened before. So we've been letting it cool down a lot. We don't hot lap it. We don't do crazy stuff with it, because I still want to drive this thing home, and I definitely don't want to like pull a tranny out in a parking lot and like chip a booger off of it or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know, I'm kind of scared to do another run, but we're gonna let it cool way off. I think I'm gonna turn the two-step down a little bit more, but we raised the rev limit, so it should have probably went a little bit faster that time. So I'm gonna lower the two-step a little bit so it's not as aggressive off the line, and just kind of bog it out a little bit, and then just hopefully get a faster trap speed to try to get in the 11s for my class. But it looks good though. We also need to go check the oil though. Dude, I like your shirt. Woo! That's sick. Alright. So, decided we're just gonna call it at that 12.1 second pass. Clutch just kind of felt a little bit weird, and when I think I slipped a little bit, maybe got a little bit hot, like off of the line when I went to shift into second. Basically kind of locked me out for a second. And now it has just like a little bitty whine, and I would rather drive it to the next track than get like an 11.5 or something and still not win the class or do anything like that. So again, most of the point of doing this whole trip in Supra was to drive it, hang out with everybody, go to the tracks, kind of scout it out for next year for the Supra, for the Civic, or maybe whatever. Maybe we'll sell the Civic and do something cooler than that next year. But
Sell the Civic.
Sell the
Civic. What are you gonna sell? $50,000 car for $5 grand or what?
Pretty much. I mean, that's
Like
I could part it out.
Have begun.
Yeah, talk about low
In
ball.
my DMs.
So, what do you guys think? This Supra or that Supra? New Supra, old Supra. If you had like the keys to this or the keys to that.
I've driven one of those. I drove Adams, and they're nice cars, but they're just
Let's put it this way.
underwhelming. They're underwhelming.
If you had a choice between a Mark IV and that, everybody would pick a
Everybody
Mark
picks
IV.
a Mark IV.
Hands down.
Looks better. I mean, that's a great car. Great car. It works for what it's made to do, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Don around the right lane.
I would choose this too. So, I'd definitely choose that. So, yeah, look at the freaking the gasser thing. So these things are like jacked up in the front. We've been trying to talk about like what is the point of that? Like why did they do that back in the day? Like the gassers. So if you guys know why the gassers raise the front up and stick the headers down.
Exhaust.
Dave was thinking
straight because they have no bends, so they get the exhaust out.
Yeah, they can have the exhaust sticking out.
And I think it's a weight transfer thing. Like it's fixed already on the back tires.
Yeah, maybe something like that. But I'm gonna go turn in my slip, and we're gonna get the route for tomorrow's drive.